I talk some V chain. I'm gonna talk some Bitcoin Cash. I'll just wait. This is a surprise live stream, so I haven't done a video in a long time. So I'm just doing a surprise live stream. I haven't even put it up on Twitter that I was gonna do this. So if anybody's here, any of my followers, how you doing? How you doing? Talk to me, Chacho. Been a long time. Hello. Yeah, so I want to talk. Want to talk Bitcoin Cash. Want to talk Bitcoin halving. Um, I want to talk some players, some V Chain. Any questions you got. If I don't know the answers, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just gonna give you my opinions. Again, this is just my opinion. This is not, financial advice. Is what I see. And just right off the bat, I see a lot of people putting some crazy numbers for 2019. Uh, I expect 2020 after the halving. For those of you who are part of the secret telegram, you know what I'm talking about. And you've seen the chart. You've seen what it's done after the halving with Bitcoin. And then you got Bitcoin Cash, April, Bitcoin, May. Um, I think that's going to be such an epic uh, movement, an event there for Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. My secret telegram. I have a. It's not really that much of a secret, but that's what I call it. But yeah, um, I was talking about Bitcoin Cash at in the low hundreds. Now, there was somebody, and you got to understand, I get a lot of people that talk to me via Telegram, on Twitter, and they send me things. There's a guy by the name of Nick, and he was telling me about Chainlink before and he said it's going to do some massive things. I think it was around 20 cents. And he was, this is how serious it is. I mean, and how strange things are in this crypto world. um, basically speaking about an entity, and I believe this guy's on YouTube, and the entity told him that Chainlink is going to do some crazy things, and hey, you know what? From 20 cents to like $1, wherever it's at right now, that's pretty good. You know what I mean? Um, but for me, Bitcoin Cash, and I know a lot of people don't like Bitcoin Cash. I understand. But I'm seeing the all-time highs at 4,000 around there, right? It's like 3,800. Some exchanges, I think it actually touched 4,000, whatever, give or take a couple hundred. I would when I saw it at the low 100s, and then noticing that it has a halving next year, I'm like, you know what? There is no reason why it should not touch at least 2,000 by next year. Um, and I think if Bitcoin takes off, Bitcoin Cash will take off. And I've explained this already. To me, it's the safest one out of all the Bitcoins. Um, all right, so let's see what you got. Oh, Daniel Vilo, what's up, man? Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Everybody knows the situation that I had with my oldest son. So we had to move down from New York uh, back to Florida. So, and that's the situation we're in right now. But you know what? It's the biggest blessing. The biggest blessing. Um, so that's why it's been a while. But I've been active on Twitter. I've been active on my secret Telegram. Um, BTC. Well, uh, listen, Chacho. I think this is what I see. Bitcoin could go back and forth a little bit here and there this year. I'm not expecting too much. Anything that happens this year to me basically is like a cherry on top. Uh, I am like so confident. I absolutely believe this that Bitcoin and the first two movers are going to be Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin next year, and then there's going to be like a trickle down effect, and then it's going to go to the altcoins like we all know. But the big movers are going to be Bitcoin after the halving. That's when I see uh, the real bull market. All right. So if you look at the chart, I put it on Twitter. I even have it on my Twitter as the pinned message. And you look at the chart, you see we're like in the expansion reaccumulation stage, right? But after the halving event, and if you look at past halvings, I mean, it's kind of done. It's kind of been identical, and it's kind of just like showing you, it's telegraphing what's gonna happen. And I'm pretty sure this one's gonna be a little bit different because not only that, we got major players involved. We got people like Fidelity involved. We got the New York Stock Exchange involved, ICE, Starbucks. I mean, this one could be really, really, really epic. So I'm really excited for next year. And again, anything that happens this year, to me, is the cherry on top. But when we saw Bitcoin at 4,000, 3,000, it's like, wow, man, and a lot of people are freaking out. And it's like, I don't know why people's minds are programmed like that, you know? It's like, okay, when is it going to stop? And I'm like telling people, this is planting season. I know you guys probably are tired of me saying that, but there's a season of plant and there's a season to reap. You don't plant the seed when it's harvest time. You plant the seed in planting season. You let it grow, you sit back, and then you reap the harvest. But here's the thing, okay? It takes action to plant, and it also takes action to harvest. Don't be foolish, all right? I put this on my secret telegram as well. I put this out there and I said 20 to 21, by mid 2021, I'll probably be, if not all out on cryptos, there's gonna be like 60 to 75%. I'm gonna be out, and then I'm gonna go into a different cycle, a different investment, and then I'll be back a year again from the next halving. I mean, it's telegraphing to you what is taking place. You understand? You need to have some fiat on the sidelines, and I'm also expecting some major things to happen, not just in crypto, but some negative things to happen, global, in the financial sectors and real estate. So I don't know if anybody caught what I put today on Twitter, but you can actually, if you play this correctly, you can do like a big wealth transfer. Give me 1 second, please. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hello? Yeah, sorry about that. Um, the halving. Okay, so Bitcoin Cash is gonna halve in April. I think it's give or take April 6th, April 7th, April 8th, and this is gonna be in 2020 next year. Then you got Bitcoin in May. Okay, so again, if you follow me on Twitter, because it's not that hard to explain, but I don't want to take all the time to explain because it's really simple if you just look at it visually. understand it. If you go to my Twitter, you can see on my pinned message, zoom in and look at the chart of what happens to Bitcoin when it does the halving. But we're going to have a Bitcoin Cash halving as well right before the Bitcoin halving in 2020. So in April, you got Bitcoin Cash. Then in May, you got Bitcoin halving. To me, this is going to be a really, really special event, and that's what's really going to set this bull market. And then it's going to just trickle down. Okay, so you're going to see uh, what I'm expecting. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just my humble opinion. But you're going to see Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin really, really take off next year. And VeChain, for those of you uh, who maybe are following VeChain or you don't know what's happening with VeChain, big news is coming out in June. Okay, now is that going to start VeChain's run to to a penny or 2 cents or 3 cents? Who knows? But I will tell you this: there's a lot of bullish news that has been compiled and accumulating with VeChain. And when this VeChain bull really wakes up and takes off, look out. Look out. All right. And there's been a lot of strange FUD around VeChain. There's been a lot of strange, like people not even writing about VeChain, the things. I mean, who are doing? I mean, seriously, if it wasn't for VeChain, I'm gonna be honest with you. If it wasn't for VeChain, I think all my money would be in Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash because again of what's happening with the halving and just looking at past history, looking at all-time highs. I like looking at all-time highs and then say, you know what? Let's just say it doesn't reach all-time highs, but it should touch at least 50%, half of it, with certain news and certain events that are taking place, right? But getting back to that, uh, VeChain to me is if it wasn't for VeChain, I really don't trust too many crypto projects out there, honestly. And you gotta understand, I've been inside a little bit more. I talked to a lot of project heads, and I've kind of been a little distant lately because I've had a lot on my plate right now. I've been moving and a lot of things that have happened. But when you realize there's a lot of, for example, the partnerships, okay? The VeChain partnerships are real, okay? There's a lot of crypto projects that have these, they label partnerships, but they're not real legitimate partnerships. It's almost like for show. You understand? But when you really understand that PwC has stake in VeChain, DNVGL has stake in VeChain. All right, so there's incentives there. Okay, so we're gonna see the big news coming out in June, which is not too long from now, and that's because of PwC. All right, and you got to start seeing the connections here. And I'll tell you, I'll share with you guys like the way I speak to my brother or to my father. I'm like, listen, VeChain to me is not VeChain, in the sense that it's much more than that. Okay, I mean, if you look at who, some of the people that VeChain is connected to, it's I think it's self-explanatory, I guess. But I'm sorry, I kind of went on a rant there. I didn't see some of your questions. Let me see. Buy some player rather than. Ooh, you guys are hitting me with the relics. The relics. Listen, I can't talk about relics. Okay, cannot talk about relics. Will not talk about relics. I'll tell you this: I'm very grateful of the situation I had at relics. I understand there's a lot of people that are angry for certain things that took place. I don't know honestly. I can tell you this: I was one of those that did get hurt by what happened, but I don't know what took place, and I don't want to talk about it. And I'll leave it as that. Now, player, yes, I love the niche esports. I like Tim Draper, right? Uh, Involved with player. I like Fembucci, involved with player. I like VeChain, involved with player. I like Sunny Lu, involved with player. I like the Accesso 5. So right now, to me, I've been saying this again. This is not financial advice. It's just my humble opinion. I believe player will have its day, and I believe that player is in planting season right now. Right now, you can only get it in Ocean X, and I forgot the other one. So if you're not listed, if you don't know about Ocean X, start figuring out about Ocean X. And you guys gotta understand, I don't get paid for this. I don't get paid for this. All right. I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing. That's it. You can agree, disagree. That's fine. But I absolutely do not get paid for this. And if I was to get paid for it, I don't think there was anything wrong. I would let you guys know. But I do not get paid for any of this. I'm just sharing with you guys what I believe is a pretty good move. VeChain is the first mass adoption. Yeah, I really don't know why people get so caught up on the price, right? Instead of seeing the news, like, okay, wait a minute. Okay, Deloitte switching over from Ethereum to VeChain. I mean, if it was just that, if it was just Deloitte going into VeChain, I mean, that would be big enough. But then you got PwC, you got DNVGL, you got the Carbon, My Story. I mean, so on and so on. It's like, to me, I think VeChain right now is severely, severely undervalued. I mean, severely undervalued. Now, the reasons, I'm not going to get into that. I have my own opinions, but I don't care. To me, I take advantage of that, and I understand the game. Understand the bigger the mouth, the more food. You got. You know what I'm trying to say. I don't want to get too deep into that, but I have my own opinions on those things. Okay, so you just got to take advantage of that. Instead of whining about the price right now, you got to know and expect that one day VeChain is going to be a freaking beast. I mean, seriously, seriously. So let me see any questions. Any other questions? You talk the oh, I have not spoken to the lion. Um, the last time we spoke, we had a private conversation about Ripple. Remember that whole crazy thing about people saying Ripple's going to be 5,000? And listen, I again, if a perfect example, this is a perfect segue to talk about what I was talking about. Other than VeChain, Ripple has these like crazy news, a lot of these things that are happening, just like VeChain. But to me, I think VeChain is doing a little bit more, and it's a little bit more solidified, and it's a little bit more transparent. But the last time I spoke to the line was the whole thing about, the price going to 5,000, and I disagree. I just simply disagree with that. Again, let me say this: I did a very, very poor job of explaining it. I went a little bit too far, but I, I still think Ripple has, it's one of those you got to keep your eyes on because, and you hear a lot of different things too. You're hearing speculation and rumors, that some of this is overhyped, or some of this is, the same, the same thing that we've been hearing about Ripple. But um, again, to answer your question, that was the last time that I really did speak to the line. We've been busy, but um, I hope all is well with him. Hope all is well with him. Uh, True. I can see XRP at 9 or 10. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, Ripple did that massive pump uh, from like 20 cents to. Absolutely. Why not? Why not? And haven't been following Ripple too much, but I'm just going now. I'm very cautious now about what these projects are saying. And I'm not talking specifically about Ripple, but I'm talking there's a lot of, um, I don't know if I should talk about this one. Uh, okay, I'll talk about it. Tea food, right? Um, so you start seeing like these partnerships, but then you really notice like, wait, is this a real partnership, or is this just, you know, just a name that we're throwing out there? Uh, so there's a lot of these crypto projects, and I'm not speaking specifically about T Food. I'm just giving an example, but you got to be very careful. All right. To me, you see DNVGL really talking about VeChain. You see PwC talking about VeChain. You see these big companies talking about VeChain and using their application. You see Deloitte talking about VeChain. Um, so to me, I'm like, wow, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. So you just keep on planting, and if you have enough, you're like, all right, I'm good with this amount. I'm ready to, rock and roll when this thing takes off, and that's it. But a lot of these crypto projects, I'll tell you this, from being kind of inside and figuring out and talking to a lot of people, it's a lot of noise, a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise out there. So be very careful when you hear about this one, and they're partnered with this one, and there's a big thing coming here, and then there's a lot of people that are just they got powerful connections with certain people, with certain exchanges, and they know how to manipulate the market, But I think you can figure those out. Some, that have been part of this uh, crypto, I guess, industry for a couple of years, you can figure out what I'm talking about. But in any business, in any industry, there's some shady things that go on. You know what I mean? And that's just how it is. Yeah, no, you got to really look at the chart of the halving. It's a really big deal. It's a really, really big deal. And as we get closer to it, you're going to hear a lot more people talking about it on YouTube and this and that. I don't know why people wait to the last minute to talk about things. I like to talk about things way in advance. And I won't say way in advance, but a time where people can actually plant, and not wait till like, 2 months out. Okay, how things gonna be happening in April, and it's February, and people are talking about the halving, and you're gonna see Bitcoin Cash at one point, 1.5, and going to 2,000 around there. I think that's kind of a little bit too late, even though it's still going to take off. But the big gains would be talking about the halving when Bitcoin Cash is at $100, and you can see it, and you're like, wait a minute, oh my goodness, this is gonna be special. This is gonna be special, and it gives you leverage. It gives you a lot more room. So that's where the research goes in. I look at what Litecoin did, right? From $20 all the way to $100, and I don't like Litecoin. I don't like Litecoin, and there's only just like how some of you don't like Bitcoin Cash because of Roger Ver, and I actually do like Roger. That's a whole maybe there's a contrarian in me, but I think the real snake is the other individual. That's just my opinion from past experiences of seeing when he knows the top, and he kind of plays this little role like, yeah, I'm a Bitcoin supporter, but he's really not. And I don't want to get into that. So, but that's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong. But that's why I chose uh, Bitcoin Cash, and I think Bitcoin Cash is just gonna. And by the way, I think Roger Ver teared Charlie Lee up in that debate when they were in. I think they were on a cruise together. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I mean, just teared him up. A very smart guy. I know some of you don't agree with Roger, but especially when he was talking about intrinsic value, and Charlie Lee was kind of like, huh, I don't understand. He couldn't answer it. So that's just my opinion. And then I'm not going to talk about what's the other one? BSV. I'm not going down that route, right? I'm not going there. But so yes, the halving is a big deal. Um, what do you guys think about Safe Haven? Safe Haven, and because I don't think we've spoken about Safe Haven. Anybody here holding some safe, some Shay? Let me see. Anybody got some Safe Haven? You hold a lot, yeah. Yeah. Um, what are you worried about, Jay Will? About Safe Haven? Um, the interesting thing. This is the one thing I'm gonna. Okay, so here's the deal. Um, and I have to be careful how I say these things. Like this. Okay, so I gotta take my time here because you know, I'm trying to be responsible as I say these things. A lot of people approach me on Telegram, right? For example, I'll use an example: relics. I'll get a lot of questions about relics. Hey, are you still holding relics? Are you still, Telegram? A lot of people ask me questions, even on Twitter. Um, so I have some people on Telegram that tell me certain different things, um, especially when it comes to VeChain, right? And so um, you hear little things here and there, but from when I've spoken to certain individuals in Safe Haven, to me, I've seen nothing but professionalism. Um, and you know what? I want to take the time right now also to, because sometimes I can explain things poorly, or sometimes people misinterpret what I was saying. Um, and I think one of my sources is gonna get really mad at me for this, and I hope they don't. I hope they understand. Um, but there was like a misinterpretation when I started talking about Cream, the projects. I mentioned some things there, and um, I want to take the time to apologize, man. Uh, but yeah, I was watching the summit. I was like, wow, you know, he's a pretty cool dude. Talking about Jackson, pretty cool dude. Uh, I haven't mentioned DBET because now talking about the summit. I think Patrick Tang from Player. I forgot the individual's name from DBET. But DBET really caught my attention there. I mean, in that forum, I think they took the spotlight there, and I'm very bullish on Player. You've been hearing me talk about Player, but D-pad is one of those that you got to keep your eyes on, I think, as well. Even though I have to do a little bit more research on them. Um, and talking about the VeChain Summit again, if you see the inner circle, right? I think I put this out on Twitter. You see one of the tokens that's coming from the VeChain ecosystem that's in the inner circle. You saw Cream, you saw Draper, I think you saw Jim Breyer, you saw PWC, you saw DMVGL, but then you see Ocean X. And it's like, wow, okay, they're in the inner circle there. So these are the type of things that I look at, and then I try to do a little bit more research and try to get a little bit more questions answered. Um, but going back to Safe Haven, to me, speaking to some of the individuals in the team, I think it's I strongly let me put it like this. Even though I've heard some different things lately, I'm still in the camp and believe that Safe Haven is doing some pretty special things. And let's see what happens with the Binance listing, which I mean, if any of us follow Safe Haven, was a little bit like, whoa, where did that come from? Because they're not the hype machine, you know. They're really they let other people do the talking for them, and it wasn't really hype. But for Safe Haven, it's kind of hype, you know, because they don't even put any kind of news out. When I started talking about, I don't even think I spoke about it. I mentioned something with Digibyte, and I got a little bit of a little problem there, and I was like, I had to apologize. So when they mentioned something like that, I was like, whoa, okay, maybe something here with Binance. Um, but yeah, so just wanted to do a little surprise live stream. You guys got any other questions? I'm willing to talk to you guys. Let me see. Hey, what's up, crypto? Yeah, I mean, Digibyte, a lot of. How many? Okay, so let me put it like this. How many of you were around in the last bull market? I mean, because literally, when I look back at it, I'm like, what? That thing pumped? Oh my God! If I would have put my money on that one, I mean, what? Even that pumped? So yeah, this is why that Bitcoin Cash halving, and when it really takes off, the bull market really takes off, is really a special event because it kind of all trickles down to the whole market, right? You probably will see this. You probably will see a lot of the altcoins going red, right? And people start freaking out, and then comes the boom, where it just starts trickling in, and it's kind of been doing that. So, but yeah, so Digibyte going to all-time highs. Why not? Seriously, why not? Yeah, everybody, that's the thing that I try to tell people. I don't care what market it is, nothing goes up forever. You're talking real estate, everybody gets caught up. Oh my gosh, everything is going up. It's up and up and up and up and up and up. We got to buy. You know, just speaking to my father, he's like, there's a certain section here that we can buy. I'm like, listen, I'm not buying real estate right now. I'm not touching any kind of real estate until it goes down. It has to go down. Not touching, wait for it. You got to be patient though. That's why I like the, illustration of like a farmer. You plant in planting season, you harvest in harvest season. You don't plant in harvest season, so. All right, guys, so let me let you go. Well, I just wanted to do a little surprise live stream, and we'll do it again next time. All right, guys, till next time. Bye.